Hello, ladies and jelly spoons. Welcome to the Mario Kart mechanic. Inside Mario mechanics are king. Now, in the last couple of videos, we covered a host of different things, and I also wanted to get into blue shell dodging, and the rewind feature. Now, Mario Kart World is the only game to utilize the rewind feature, which in the right places, it can be an invaluable tool, but in the wrong situations, it can be your worst nightmare. With it, I were able to successfully dodge blue shells all the time, and also accidentally hitting it, I was able to lose the race because when I saw the finish line, I accidentally hit down and it rewound, and I literally gave the computer the advantage and they won. So, like I said, take it and use it, don't abuse it, but it is a worthwhile attack in this game as well as any other things you can use. Now, it's always at the ready. You don't have to pick up a block to get it. The rewind feature is just down on the D-pad. So if you have it, it's just down on the D-pad. That's all it is. It's got nothing to do with the analog. It's down on the D-pad, and that is the rewind feature. Now, as well as defensive kart driving, you also have offensive kart driving. Now, the strategy of always being where they're not is because the computer looks for your lines and your patterns all the time. So changing up your trajectory, changing up your path, changing up where you are and where you're not will always help you in the long run when it comes to their attacks, their items, and their ability to attack you. Will it stop it 100% of the time? No. That's why you always want to get coins and try to stay as the highest maximum as you possibly can. That will save you a lot of times when you're hit. And also, depending on your kart meta, your kart combo, and your character, some characters recover faster than others and some recover slower than others. This is another mechanic you have to work into your gameplay. I use Pauline and the Roadster, and it's worked for me. It may necessarily not work for you. You have to find out which kart combination works for you. But if you're able to take what we learn in these little sessions and put them together, you will learn to be a better Mario Kart player as a whole, and definitely a better Mario Kart World player. Now, I showed you over the last few videos a bunch of different mechanics, whether they be simple wall grinding, simple rail riding, front flips, back flips. You can put all of those together and help influence your race. But knowing the board is also going to be an advantage. So I recommend you go to time trials, you pick each one of them, and you learn the roads, you learn the boards, you learn the avenues, you learn the shortcuts and where the shortcuts are, you learn where to be and where not to be, you learn your weakness parts. You also want to aim in a straight line. So if there is an S curve and you can stay in a straight line and go between all of it, aim for the straight line, because the shortest distance between 2 points is always a straight line. Utilize this. Do not curve and cut and drag, because what you're doing is you're slowing down your ground speed total, and you want to keep the highest possible ground speed imaginable, because this is king when it comes to racing. Now, the standing jump, which you'll see me do a lot, it gives you a small boost, but it also helps you reach other levels and different things that you never get to. But if you're in a flat race and you're racing against somebody using just speed, that little jump, that little standing boost will actually put you ahead of them. And inches matter in this game by far. So let's take a look at a race with all the mechanics we've learned so far incorporated into one race. All right, so this will be the second level of the first cup. We are at 150cc. Like I said, mirror would confuse you at this point because it changes the path of the board. I want you to learn with me as I'm helping you guys. So welcome to Inside the Mario Mechanic, and this is Mario Kart Mechanics. So let's spin you around and show you a race that I just finished, and we'll take a look at all those little things that I taught you in an actual race. All right, you guys ready? I'm ready. No. Continue watching. All right, ready? Unpause. All right. So I'm using the standing jump, which put me on a rail, which I tried to increase my ground speed by grinding. Picking up the little lunch, which is a boost, but it'll also give you characters when you first start Mario Kart World. And as you can see, I'm about even with Peach. So you'll see me start using the standing jump again and again. And you notice I'm catching up to her very quickly. But also, I knew how to go cut through underneath here, which gave me the advantage on her. Now you see, I'm changing where I'm at, and her countermeasures are missing me. You want to keep doing that. Now over here, this is another section of the course. It slows you down a little bit, but it helps you in the long run if you're able to be not where they are. Down there, they're shooting ice balls, red shells, and turtles. Everything is going. Now, as you can see, I'm about neck and neck with her. So I start using the standing feature again because, like I said, it increases your ground speed. Now she's falling a little bit back and she has to take the corner long. I can actually take the rail and cut the corner. So as you can see, those two strategies back to back put me quite a bit ahead of her. She hits me with a red shell. Like I said, I got 2 more coins and I got protection. You don't have to hold the item behind you now. Now you're going to see where the rewind feature comes into play. You're actually going to see it in actuality. So as I'm flying, I'm coming down. I notice they have a blue shell. I hit the rewind feature. Did you see that? Did you see that? I'll show it to you again. So I see the blue shell is coming and you hear the indicator, but you can see it on the shell on the map. So I literally looked for an avenue. It was gone. That cart was going to hit me. So what I did is I hit rewind just as it's about to hit you. Rewind it. Now it also gave them the advantage over me, but my ground speed is super fast. So when I land, I automatically look for a way to capitalize and boost my ground speed, which just in a few seconds, now I'm ahead again. Now I'm back in first place. Like I said, keeping that ground speed is king. Knowing those corners, I call it snaking, but staying close to those corners. I also use the most direct route. Like I said, the shortest place between 2 points. See? There you go again. Now, if I had stayed on the same trajectory that I was on, Princess would have taken advantage with her little bomb trick. But I changed my trajectory over to the right. And as you see, she threw the bomb and wasn't able to hit me with it. Be where they're not. That's a strategy I tell you all the time. Change your trajectory, change your pattern, change your path. And if you can help it, always look to take that ground speed boost. Now you notice I'm maxing out the coins. Now there's a bunch of different things you can do on this part. You can wall ride, you can do trick, but at this point it's just showing off. It doesn't take an advantage at all. So I chose not to do it because I'm looking to secure the victory. But there is a little trick over here where you can get faster ground speed. Now in the air, you're a little bit slower than you are on the ground. How you can compound that is to look for a grind rail and be very inventive. This is the top of a signboard. So on top of the signboard, I'm using this as a grind rail and I'm literally tricking to get boost, increasing that ground speed. So when I land, I actually comboed a bunch of those tricks. I'm actually got a super boost. And as you can see, coming down to the end, I'm ahead of the computer by far. Like I said, it's taking all those tricks that we learned and adding them together, which will secure your victory in Mario Kart World. And like I said, that rewind feature is an invaluable tool. Use it or lose it. And believe it or not, without it, a lot of your races, you'll just have to absorb that blue shell shot, which will stun you and stop you for a few seconds. Now, if you're doing knockout tour, the rewind feature isn't allowed. If you're doing a multiple multiplayer race, the rewind feature is not allowed. If you're going online, which is multiplayer, the rewind feature is not allowed. So it's only usable in a race against the computer. But as you saw, it can be invaluable. And I can't say this enough. Use that rewind feature when you get the chance. It will literally mean the difference between you winning or losing. So don't forget it's there. Like I said, it's just down on the D-pad. Just down on the D-pad. And if you're holding your controller, it's a really simple position to do. You're steering with this, you just literally hit down. See? It's just that movement. You don't have to move any big hand movements. You don't have to worry about changing anything. So ladies and jelly spoons, once again, inside the Mario mechanics shows you a little bit of what we put together over the last few videos, and we literally put it all together. Now, learning the board, like I said, is king, because you know where to go and where not to go. But you also learn there are quicker routes than what the computer takes. If you can access those, you will increase your position over the computer exponentially. So take advantage of all the things you can, because the computer has you at a disadvantage. You can turn that disadvantage into an advantage by multiplying all these strategies and using all of them simultaneously in a race. And I guarantee you, 98% of the time, you will always get the victory. There it is in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. The mechanics of Mario Kart, especially Mario Kart World. Now, these mechanics will not work in Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 is a different level. Like I said, each Mario Kart has its own specific strategy. Mario Kart World strategy is basically, you have got to become a Mario Kart god if you want to survive. And I hate to say it, because there's a lot of young people who just got the game and just started playing, and they find it impossible to win, and they get so upset and frustrated. It's designed that way. But if you utilize time trials, both to learn the board, learn the avenues and the routes on the board, and learn how to trick and get your strategies down, then when the application, you actually face them in battle, you will come out on top. That is all you need to do. And I know, even with that, I would say stay offline until you're ready, because online is a massacre. Like, the people who have the top level of skills, they're all out there during multiple rooms, during multiple times of the day. And anybody who knows all of these strategies and more, and there's some people with insane tricking combos, insane shortcuts, insane, like, there's people who can go off the board and just bounce off of trees and cut an entire section of the board. Nobody's mind is on that level. But how do they learn these things? By investing time in the game. And that's the only way you're going to get better at it, is by literally learning these things. So you can go online and watch people and wonder how they do it. The problem is you have to take your own strategies and kind of chemically change them so that it matches you. I've seen people take different shortcuts that I take, but they take it a different way from me, and it works for me, not the way they do it, but the way I do it. And then you just have ultimate super tricking shortcuts that you have to be on a higher level to even get to master. Unfortunately, it is what it is, but that's the game of Mario Kart now. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining me on Inside the Mario Kart Mechanics. I will see you guys next time. Happy racing, and don't forget your music. Music does help. It calms you down and relaxes you. The worst thing to do is become frustrated and fuzzled while you're racing against insurmountable odds. You'll lose every time, especially if you're frustrated. I've seen tons of friends. Nitro started playing Mario Kart World here in the game dojo, and I can't tell you how frustrated he was. It was sometimes he just quit and be like, I'm going to sleep. It will take you there. This game is not for the faint of heart. It is not for children. But if you don't give up and you do these strategies that I'm giving you in these little video compilations, you will come out on top, I guarantee. So don't give up. Don't throw down the controller. Don't break the screen. Breathe. Go back to time trials. Practice. Practice makes perfect. You can practice the same move 1,000 times, but when you add real combat into that move, somebody ain't going to hold still for the punch. They ain't going to stand still for the sweep. So unlike fighting, you have to adapt that strategy to a real life, real time environment. So practice makes perfect. Learn those moves, utilize that rewind feature, and I'll see you guys maybe on the track. Show me what you've learned. Till next time, thank you for Inside the Mario Mechanics. I'll see you guys next time.